Good Sunday morning and welcome to WGN-TV Political Report. I'm Paul Lisnick. We begin this morning in the city of Chicago. It was clear no matter who became mayor this spring, they would face a long list of financial challenges. Already Mayor Johnson has had to deal with how to provide for thousands of migrants who are bused here from Texas and paying $10 million for a ShotSpotter contract he promised to cut off. A new report from the Civic Federation says there's more to come. They say the top 5 issues ahead are recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic and the end of federal recovery funds, Chicago's public safety crisis, the city's chronically high liability burden, funding the city's enormous pension shortfall, and the city's persistent structural deficit. Well, Sarah Wetmore is acting president and research director at the Civic Federation. She joins me this morning. Sarah, good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Thank you so much for having me.
We're going to get into this, but I just want to start with a nod to Lawrence Masal, who was in the position you are interim in right now. He was a former student of mine. Everybody loved Lawrence. His loss was just really sad and tragic for the city.
We miss him every day. And what we're doing here and with this report and everything that we're doing is trying to live up to his example.
He indeed would be proud. So our viewers understand you're mainly a tax watchdog, right? Focused on money issues for the city, and you've got this new report. That's what brings you in for the new mayor. It's kind of like a welcome note to the new mayor. Here's what you need to know. But I'm sort of curious, why now, when he's only been a mayor for, I don't know, did we hit a month yet? And you know, why not give him 6 months, 7 months before you say, here's a progress report?
So this is a report that we've made for the last several mayoral transitions, and it's intended to help the new mayor and the city council as they address the many challenges that are facing the city. So we laid out those financial challenges that you just read about. And also with this report, what we're doing is pulling together in one place, essentially a one-stop shop with lots of options for the city to improve its financial transparency, lots of changes to its structure and so on, but also taking a look at some of the financial, the revenue proposals that have been made both during the campaign and over time.
And we're going to look at those.
Okay.
So, yeah, I want to walk through with you. Your central message, as I'm getting from you for the new mayor, is look, the city's got major financial challenges. Be prepared to raise taxes. That seems to read from the report. But we got to define the challenges. And then second, I'm sort of curious, before you define the challenges, did the previous administration, the Lightfoot administration, did they exacerbate the problem? Did they put a lid on it? Because Mayor Lightfoot would sort of suggest things came under control under her tenure.
And we certainly saw a significant improvement in a number of areas in the city's finances, but it doesn't mean that the city's done improving them. So there's significant challenges remain in terms of continuing to fund the pensions going forward. There are going to be some financial challenges going forward. We know that there could be a recession coming. There's been some softening of revenue at the state level, so we might see that locally as well. And then there's a number of areas of sectors in the economy. The downtown has been a little bit slow to recover. Those are challenges that we're going to need to address going forward.
So the report itself kind of stays neutral on taxes. I know on increasing taxes, you're not going to do that, but I want to run a couple things by you just to get a sense of whether Civic Federation has a response to that. And there's a theory behind it, which is number one, the hotel tax. Right? The mayor says, look, it's $1 a night, not a big deal. In fact, who's paying for it? People who are visiting our city and taking advantage of it. Of course, others say it could hurt tourism and business. Does the Civic Federation, how do you look at the notion of a $1 tax that's not hit on the citizens, so to speak?
So we don't usually take positions on revenues in the abstract. We like to see them in the context of the budget, and that's so we can see what those revenues would be spent on, and also what kinds of other things the city is doing. Are they able to improve efficiency in other places? We want to see the context to make the case that the taxpayers ought to be paying more. So in the case of the hotel tax, a number of different considerations would apply. The hotel tax is quite high in the city of Chicago already.
Yeah, it's not the dollar, it's what it's getting added onto.
Right, exactly. So, and then also, because there's a number of different governmental levels that tax hotels. It's the state of Illinois, it's Cook County, it's the city of Chicago, and also that's an area that has been lagging in terms of recovery. You know, the city put out some financial projections earlier this spring, and that projected that the hotel tax was going to be a little bit slower in recovering.
Okay, only one other tax I want to run by you, and that's the head tax, because that, of course, would be charging people from the suburbs or Indiana, people who work in the city, they don't live here, but they're using the city. It's another example of that. We're not hitting Chicagoans with it, but I imagine the Civic Federation would have a reaction to the notion of putting a head tax, which we used to have, got rid of it about 10 years ago.
Well, the Civic Federation did support the ending of the head tax under the Manuel administration, and that's just because we feel like you don't want to discourage folks from hiring people, particularly when, we're still recovering from the pandemic, and we want to have as many people employed as possible.
All right, let's talk about pensions for a moment. Still a big problem for the city. You do note in the report that the city is meeting its annual obligations now. That's a good thing. But you go on to say, except for the police retirement fund, you're not catching up till 2029, white-collar workers 2034. Is it a bad thing as long as they're going to catch up?
Well, the problem is that as long as they're not making payments that are sufficient to prevent the unfunded liability from growing, that's sort of known colloquially as the tread water contribution, it means that those unfunded liabilities are growing until that point. So it's great that the city is now on an actuarially calculated contribution. That's so much better than it was. And those contributions have gone up over the last 8 years, and it's been a significant achievement of the Emanuel and the Lightfoot administrations to get us to that point. However, and we don't expect the increases to be as significant as they have been over the last 8 years, but they are going to continue to increase. And that means that the city is going to need to find additional revenue sources to fund those going forward. And additionally, it makes up 20% of the city's budget. That's a lot of money going out to pensions year in, year out that can't be spent on other priorities.
Real simple, are you guys hopeful about the new casino, be it Medina Temple or the...
Well, I think that, the Illinois Gaming Board did provide provisional approval for the temporary casino. And eventually it's supposed to bring in something like $200 million a year. However, we do have some reservations about it. It has to be, according to state law, it has to be applied to the police and fire pensions. That's great. However, casino revenue isn't a reliable source of revenue. It goes up and down, and that means the years that it's down, the city will have to find other revenue sources to make up those funds.
Okay, it's a complicated issue, but you guys issue regular reports, so please come back the next time you look at the situation.
Absolutely. Thank
Sarah
you so
Wetmore,
much.
appreciate you being with me. We're going to take a short break. Coming up next on WGN TV Political Report.
I am impressed with the way he has reached out broadly across the city to build an inclusive tent.
Johnson works to woo civic leaders across Chicago. WGN's exclusive interview with Obama Foundation CEO Valerie Jarrett. And later, former President Donald Trump faces an historic federal indictment, but he's still on the campaign trail looking for a way back to the White House. What's in store for the GOP primary? We've got no thoughts for you. Stay with us.